Have you ever wanted to know exactly what makes a successful wholesaler? What exactly makes someone that beats their competition on almost every single one? What makes a wholesaler someone that becomes rich and successful and one that ends up not becoming rich and successful, right? You might have a lot of these questions of exactly what makes the winners win and the losers lose in wholesaling. And I've done a lot of wholesaling deals, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month wholesaling houses, but I've also taught in hundreds of thousands of wholesalers how to get in this business and become successful, right? I just got done with a video I was analyzing for the past month. Probably, a couple $1 million of just testimonials of people doing wholesaling deals, thanking me for them, frankly, just on the Facebook group and on my DMs on Instagram and everything. And it got me thinking of exactly, how do these people beat their competition and how you can actually go out here and do the same thing and actually become successful here. Because I think a lot of wholesalers, they overcomplicate what it takes to win, what it takes to become successful, what it takes for them to become rich, what it takes for them to actually start winning out and beating their competition. I don't think so many wholesalers want to know what, is the secret script, because it's not about the script half the time. If you have the confidence, if you know exactly what to say to sellers, you're going to be fine. You're going to have to know exactly, first and foremost, how to beat everyone else. And so the first thing we got to talk about is to beat wholesalers in your market, you have to beat yourself. And this is frankly the thing that no one wants to have a conversation about today. But this is probably one of the most important things to have a conversation about. To beat your competition, you must beat yourself. I think a lot of wholesalers out here, they feel like it's someone else is the reason why they're not doing deals or becoming successful or not reaching where they feel like they need to be or where they should be. And it's not other wholesalers that are the problem. And if I can just elaborate a little more here, it's yourself. You are the problem. And when you start discovering and figuring out that the problem is you, not other people, you figure out that, wow, it's a double-edged sword, because a lot of people think, wow, crap, I can't blame someone. I can't blame someone else for my problem. No, you can't blame someone else for your problems. But there's this freeing thing where it's like, wow, I actually can control it though. Because if I can figure out how to make myself a better wholesaler, I know how to make myself better. If I get better, then I make more money and I do better. Like, I can't blame anyone else. It's just myself. And that's the pretty impressive part. There's no one to blame. There's no corners to hide from. The results are a complete reflection of you and how you can get better and how you can become more successful. A lot of you guys need to man up, woman up, whatever you want to say it, get up, and start making that change they have to do today. And, I talk about this week after week that you got to make that change or decide today's the day. It's not even that anymore. If you want to beat other people, you have to first learn how to conquer yourself. Because if you don't conquer what's in between your head here, what's in between the brain, okay? If you can't figure that out first, you ain't going to win. You ain't going to get rich. You ain't going to become successful. You ain't going to do what you got to do. To beat other people in wholesaling, you have to learn how to conquer your own issues, because the other wholesalers you're competing against, they haven't conquered their own issues either. So if you can just be the guy or the gal that can conquer their own, really the roadblocks in their mind, the excuses. I love when a wholesaler goes out here and makes excuses. I love it when a wholesaler out here blames other people, not themselves. When the truth is, if you know how to figure out your own mind and shift it, you can get really rich. And so if you can't beat yourself, you can't win. So how do you beat yourself? The number one problem I see people have is they go out here and they blame the external factors. They blame themselves, or they make excuses in their mind. Think about this for a second. When you decide to yourself, I'm tired today. I can't cold call. It's been a hard day at work. Your competition's not whooping your butt. You decided to lose, okay? You decided to be a loser. And so it's not like, I've said this a lot, and this is always my most controversial take for new wholesalers, but there's not one guy that's helped more wholesalers get more successful than me. The bar has never been lower to be exceptional in wholesale. The bar has never been so low, because there's more wholesalers, but the amount of people actually willing to do the work that is required is normal. But the people who are willing to do the work that is not required, like the exceptional work, the bonus work, the extra work, there's never been more wholesalers than ever. Okay. There's There's never been enough wholesalers doing that. To be exceptional, you have to do what other people aren't willing to do. And the amount of people doing what other people aren't willing to do, it's never been low. There's never like, there's just not enough people doing it. And so if you can be there, it's easy. It's a joke. And so the first thing you have to do is just learn how to beat yourself. And like I've always said, it's like when everyone will DM me, message me, or ask me in person, like, how do I get rich like you, man? What's your secret at 17? What were you? Frankly, one sentence. I did what people weren't willing to do. And to emphasize the Inky, I've said this Inky Johnson quote too many times, but for anyone in the back that hasn't heard it for the 5,000th time, to get results that others won't, you have to do what others don't. Let me say it one more time. To get results that others won't, you have to do what others won't. And this quote basically means if you will do the things that people aren't willing to do, you will get results that they can't get. And these are good results, okay? And so if you're willing to do 1,000 cold calls when everyone else does 100 cold calls, you are going to make 10x more money that they couldn't even fathom doing. And so there's literally the best analogy. And roll your eyes for another Zach analogy, but is Kobe Bryant. Hands down the best one. The amount of people in the NBA with just this insane God-given athleticism and talent, everyone in the NBA has it. Everyone has this insane like genetics of just being amazing athletic. It's the NBA, duh. But that means everyone basically has the special like skill set, right? And so if everyone out here has this insane athleticism, how do you separate from if everyone's got this God-given ability, right? These fast twitch muscles, and some people are just born faster than others. Like everyone's got that in the NBA, right? So it was like, what separates them? Well, one really big one, okay, and that's the thing that is not God-given in the NBA, which is what? Work ethic. You're just not born with work ethic, right? You're not born to be a sharpshooter in the NBA, right? That's not stuff as a 4-year-old, you get a ball and you can just throw it in the hoop, like not right. It's a skill that is acquired through hard work and training. And I'm not saying in the NBA they don't do it. But here's the thing in the NBA or NFL or like whatever you want to say, boxing or like most NBA players are going to train 3-4 hours a day. And when they're teenagers, they're probably doing 3 or 4 hours a day. And it's crazy to think about. So it's like, okay, so if you have some God-given athleticism and you're training 3 or 4 hours a day, what makes you better than the next guy with the same athleticism doing the same 3 or 4 hours a day? Like, how do you get better than them, right? Do you have to be smarter, right? Like what's the reason why, right? I need more athleticism, right? No, it's not that, right? It's the people that are the outliers in the NBA. And when you look at most outliers in the NBA, they're doing 6, 7, 8, 9 hours a day of training. They're doing 3 times more. And so they're just doing raw statistics at this point. Okay, so if you're doing 3 hours a day, I'm going to do 6 hours a day. And yeah, over a week, it won't seem like a big difference. But over 4 years, you won't even be able to touch me because the gap goes like this over a year. But over 5 years, it's like this. And over 10 years, it's like this. And by the time you're 25, the gap's like this. And that's just NBA by like that's a completely, and there's other factors, not tearing your ACL and all these other things, right? And there's definitely ones, right? But to understand that, it's like the people that are really, really, really good at what they do, they are obsessed, borderline mentally insane, like me for wholesaling, but they just, one sentence, they do what other people aren't willing to do. Larry Bird's been quoted like this, like all he did as a kid was shoot the hoop. Like that's all he basically did. And he was born with very tall and all these athletic gifts, but he's one of the best shooters of all time. That's all he literally did. That's all he did. What else are you going to do in Indiana? Shots fired. But I mean, and so like you have to do what these people aren't willing to do to get the results that other people aren't willing to do. And so the same exact principles happen in business. If you want to just start getting more motivated, if you want to, let's just do this for example. If you want to get twice as many motivated sellers as your competition, just cold call 2 times more. If they're cold calling 2 hours a day, do 4 hours a day. Like there's nobody in Port St. Lucie in 2018, 2019 that was cold calling 5 hours a day, 5 days a week for a year straight on the dialer. Like that wasn't a VA. There's not one person, like literally not one except for me. And so like why did I get so lucky, making money wholesaling when I was 18, 19, 20 years old? Because my luck wasn't really luck. It was just pure statistics and just pure data that I was ramming through it. I was like, okay, well, if you're doing 1 to 2 hours, I'm just going to do 5. And over a year, I'm going to get more deals than you. Like, just right. And so the truth is, you win by doing just more. And the more you do, the more skills you get. It seems weird, but like when I was able to reach out and go from doing, let's say let's say about 2 or 3 appointments a week, at 20 years old, to start going on 5 to 6 a week, I was doubling the amount of motivated sellers I was actually closing in person. And because I was just doing 2 times more closings in person, I got 2 times better, basically, overall, my skill set closing in person or just virtually closing and things like that, because I got in front of the sellers more. I just started doing more and more and more. And it's always so funny, but just the muscle memory creeps in. When somebody gives me an objection, my mind goes back to the last 120 objections, just like that question. And I can just go in the little file, open it, and say, oh, this is what I say. And then boom, pop it up like there. I was a machine. I'm still a machine. And all those appointments are still in my head today. And so because I got more at bats, I got more just practices and I got more reps in that you can't even compete. Like, that's it. It's simple. And so what do I attribute my success to? Like, especially starting out, I did what other people weren't willing to do. And the bar was very low back then, and the bar is low now. But just do what is unnecessarily big. Like, unnecessary, like that's a lot. And so do what other people aren't willing to do. And so if the average seller gets 5 calls a day, right? That means the average guy is doing maybe an hour or 2 a day. Just do 4 or 5. You want to know how to beat them. That's how you do it. I ain't going to tell you there's a super secret method. If you pay me $4,000, I'll tell you. All these gurus are trying to get you to skirt around the hard work. Now, yes, you can pay 4 or 5 grand in marketing and you get the same results as a guy doing 5 hours a month. But do you have 5 grand to pay now? You can do it. Like, you can always pay to get the marketing out there. But for the sheer amount of wholesalers watching this that aren't going to pay 5 grand a month, which you should not be doing, don't be doing this. And so let me just run down, I can run down I can go out here and run down the gauntlet of things I know you guys aren't doing. And I hate to say this in a mean way, but it's true. It's a lot of people that are not doing what they got to do. And so what I mean by this is, number 1, government lists. It's like most people aren't doing government lists. Just facts. It's the truth. You guys are not pulling government lists. The pre-foreclosures, code violations, probates, fire damage properties, water shutoffs, tax liens, arrest records, bail bondsman lists. Just stuffing it from the government. You guys frankly aren't doing it. Your competition's not doing it, and you're not doing it. And so you are just literally doing the bare minimum required work. Do it. You have to do it too. That's the thing. You got to go get on these one-on-ones and say, are you doing the work? And you're like, oh, well, I ain't that. I know what you're doing. All right. I ain't dumb. Okay. Do the government lists. I teach them at freewholesaling.com. Hey, I have a free wholesaling course. I say the majority of wholesalers that are watching this haven't been through the free wholesaling course. Why not? You like being a lazy bum? Seriously, I literally give you all the information you need to know to get rich and successful wholesaling real estate, but you are not willing to do it. Drives me crazy. I have a free wholesaling course. Go to freewholesaling.com and I'll teach you how to do it step by step, absolutely for free. Now, the next one is just sheer drawing for dollars and reverse drawing for dollars. Like I've always said, the bar has never been lower to get rich, to get successful wholesaling houses. And one of the easiest bars to just kind of hurdle over is drawing for dollars and reverse driving for dollars, right? And so you just got to do it. Get in that car, look for ugly houses, get results. The formula is simple. The formula is easy. You just got to do the work and you'll get the results. You'll make the money. You'll do it. But put 40 sticky notes out a day, 5 days a week, 200, right? Do that. Simple, easy. It's not hard, but you guys make it so difficult to be doing this stuff. It's just so simple. So you should probably be doing 100 free throws a day if you want to get good at it. And you're like, oh, I only did 20 today. Well, who are you going to blame? Blame yourself for being a lazy bum doing this, right? Just go do it. It drives me crazy. Just do the work. There's fresh, new, ugly houses coming out every single month. Every month. Heck, every day there's new ones. You guys aren't willing to go out here and do it. You guys know what you got to do, but you're not willing to do it. Try for dollars, reverse try for dollars. Just simple stuff, man. The reason why I tell everyone drawing for dollars, reverse drawing for dollars is because when most wholesalers are spending a bunch of money pulling lists, skip tracing it, and then trying to go out here best they can and pay a VA, do some SMS blasting, sending some direct. I love my direct mail. The direct mail works. I'll tell you this. But like most people do that still. The percent of people that are willing to get in their car, go out here and look for ugly houses is pretty stinking low. I'll tell you that. Okay. It's crazy. But the amount of people to put out 15, 20 sticky notes a day, 5, 6, 7 days a week, it's very low. The amount of people doing that is stupid low. It's embarrassing, actually, in my opinion, that most people aren't willing to do that, because you just put some headphones in, put your Taylor Swift on, and just go watch, go sing along and put your sticky notes out. Like it's not hard. It's not like sitting down for 5 hours and cold calling. It's a lot easier. And I hate to say this, but like let's do this. 5 hours of reverse trying for dollars will probably land you 2 times more deals than 5 hours of cold calling. It's the truth. It's completely the truth. And you can listen to your T Swift. It's like, what's better? But like, it drives me crazy. Trying for dollars, reverse trying for dollars. This is what it's all about. Okay. If you aren't willing to do that, we got to have some conversations here. If you're not pulling government lists, we have to have some conversations here, because if just the simple stuff I'm telling you is scaring you, like let me put cold calling up here, right? If me just saying the word cold calling is scaring you right now, we need to have a talk here. Is it because you're like, oh, what would someone say to me? Like, what's freaking you out here by me mentioning cold calling? Like, I want, like, what's scary here? What's making you go, oh my gosh? Tell me. Like, I would love to know. But the truth here is you're subconsciously saying, oh, that's a lot of work. That's difficult. That might require me to grow or get out of my comfort zone. So a lot of you guys are actually, and it's not you saying it. This is you subconsciously in your mind saying that, because human beings are always going towards comfort, going towards things that make me feel good about myself. And, being something that's scary is cold calling, when we know us human beings used to fight saber-toothed tigers and lions and all these scary sharks. And that's what our fear in our brains used to tell us. And now we're getting so soft in society that cold calling, you get the same scared hormones and emotions as you do fighting a saber-toothed tiger. It's like we just gotten soft, and we've got to reset what's scary in life. Cold calling is not it. All right, we used to have famines 200 years ago. Okay, cold calling ain't bad. Just gotta do it. But the truth is, like, if you aren't willing to cold call, your competition's probably not willing to cold call either. And what is the fundamental rule for beating other wholesalers on deals? Do what they're not willing to do. And if you've already made that mental assumption that I'm not willing to cold call, then you are part of the sheep of wholesalers that are only willing to do the bare minimum and become successful. And then the one guy or gal that says, I'm sick of being broke, I'm sick of living in my mama's basement, I'm going to start cold calling, then they start becoming exceptional, because the bar has never been lower. If I gave a poll, it would, I don't want to expose people on here if you guys are being truthful, but like, where's the amount of people in the chat right now that have made 100 contacts in the past 30 days of just cold calls? It has to be staggeringly low, because the truth is everyone says they want to cold call or they cold call, but the amount of people that made 100 hellos, like someone said hello and you actually ask them if they're looking to sell their house, it's really low, because the bar to success in wholesaling is already stupid low. And it just takes one crazy guy, one crazy gal to say, you know what? I'm going to cold call. I'm sick. I am so sick of being broke. I am more sick of being broke than I am being sick of cold call. And when it takes that certain person to say, I'm done, I'm ready to make a change, then they start becoming not regular, but exceptional. And once they're exceptional, they get rich, they become successful, and they make money wholesaling. That's the point. This is what I'm trying to drill in your mind. It's not hard to get rich wholesaling. It is a it's a get rich quick, hard work scheme. You can get rich very quick if you work hard. But the problem in wholesaling is you guys are trying to get rich quick without hard work scheme. That ain't it. Okay? Like, come on. Like, let's look at the get rich quick schemes that don't require hard work. There are frankly 2 of them I could think of. They're legit. Not legit, but you could, okay? We're on YouTube, so I got to be PG-13 here. Number 1's win the lottery. Yeah, but what's the chance of you doing well there? not going to be high, but you can get rich quick without a lot of hard work. Now, what's number two? You could, how do I say this in a nice way? You could deal in illegal substances, right? You could be buying and selling that. And yeah, you could probably make a lot of money very quick doing that. But what are the chances that you go to jail for the next 5, 10 years of your life and then you start making $0? High, like very high. And you do bad things to society, and that's not good. And I do not condone that, right? So those are your options to get rich quick without a lot of work. Did I mention the second one's super dangerous too? So like, okay, well, what about this scheme where I get rich really quick, make $30,000, $40,000 in a month, but I work hard, but I can make $40,000 without a college degree, without any work, without any real estate experience at all. Wholesaling houses, like that's what it's at. Now you got to work hard. You got to cold call. You got to do things most people aren't willing to do. But if you're willing to do them, you'll get rich. And so just like, going through it, you got to do it. It drives me crazy. It drives me nuts. All right. It drives me absolutely crazy that most wholesalers and wholesaling real estate are going out here and not knowing what they got to do. It drives me nuts. To get rich in wholesaling real estate, it's not that complicated. You just got to do the work. You got to be able to go out here and do what is required. It drives me nuts, but you got to do this and get rich wholesaling real estate here. And so if you can do it, you'll be fine. If you're not, you won't be good. I hate to see wholesalers go out here and do this and just be complaining about it, but you can do it. You can get rich wholesaling real estate. And so the stuff you got to do is AKA the stuff you don't feel like doing. Okay. You got to do the stuff you don't feel like doing. And if you're willing to do the things that people don't feel like doing, you can get rich. Like the bar's low. Next year, we want to talk about if you want to become more rich than other wholesalers, you actually want to get more successful than them, right? Here's a really easy, simple thing to think about. Stop trying so hard. I think when it comes to, that's just marketing in general, right? But let's talk about regular wholesaling, right? You got to stop trying so hard to close deals. When you talk to a seller, some of you guys are just reeking of desperation. Oh, can I, Mr. Seller, can I go see the property? Oh, can I see it? Can I see it for? Okay, great. Mr. Are you looking to sell your house? You are? Yes, great. I'm glad you're looking to sell your house. It reeks of desperation. I don't like to see it. A lot of you guys are trying too hard. It's coming out too chasey of a seller. It's not good. And so stop trying so hard with your motivated sellers. Be regular, be simple, make it easy. I think a lot of you guys are out here really overcomplicating this. Okay. Stop trying so hard with your motivated sellers. Next here's another reason why I beat a lot of wholesalers on my appointments, especially in 2024, showing credibility. This is a big one. This is one that's not talked about too much, but show credibility. Like, so when I talk to a motivated seller or like someone on our team does, the first thing we do is saying, oh, you're talking to another guy. Perfect. Well, what I want you to do is look up his company and see how many houses in the past month he's bought for cash. Me and my partner, John's my cash buyer. We've collectively both about 15, 20 houses in the past couple months in Port St. Lucie. Here's the company. Go look it up. See if we're legit. Me and John. Yep. That's us, and you can use your cash buyer as credibility too, because you guys are working together as partners on this transaction, and whoever you're talking to is kind of thrown off guard there. The interesting part here is just showing this credibility thing. It doesn't seem crazy, but wow, you'll see huge differences. And the reason why this works so well is because it shows you're legit and the other person is not legit. And so this might be a little sneaking, a little dirty tricks, but it's a trick that works. And so show you credibility. Next here is a universal law for wholesaling real estate, but whoever cares more about the seller wins. And what I mean by that is whoever can care more about the seller and their needs is just going to get the deal sold, is going to get the deal done and get the deal locked up. And if you don't care about the seller, like if you legit in your heart don't care about helping the seller out, you're not going to win out on the wholesaling deal. Like you ain't going to win. You are actually not going to get a deal closed. You're not going to make money wholesaling. You're not going to do any of that stuff you need to be doing. Okay. And that's the sad part here. I see a lot of wholesalers, they have this problem where like they truly believe in their soul, right? They truly believe in their heart that for them to get rich or successful in wholesaling real estate, they got to be this cutthroat, salesman-y, weird type guy. And that's not what wholesaling is. Wholesaling is just about caring about the seller, caring about their needs, caring about what has to be done for them. And if you do that, you can actually make a ton of money in wholesaling. But if you don't care about the seller, what they need, or what actually is going to help them out in the long run, this ain't the business for you. Care about the seller and you will win. Super important here is speed. Without speed, you won't beat your competition. When a seller says, hey, I'm looking to sell my house, you have to call and set that appointment ASAP. Now, you're not going to be desperate and trying too hard, but simple, hey, actually, me and my partner, we're going to be in the area tomorrow. It's okay, we swing by and see the house. That doesn't come off of desperate, right? But it comes off of still urgency without seeming desperate, right? I know it's a weird little yin yang, you got to get going, but to have speed, okay, and to do it without sounding desperate, that's truly how you beat your competition. And that's a huge one we got to talk about here that we teach in the free wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com. And then probably one of the most important lessons, and a lesson I didn't think I need to talk about, but after seeing more wholesalers and more issues wholesalers have, we got to talk about more, is never, and I mean never, compete on price. A lot of wholesalers will be in like a bidding war or a bidding battle with another person where, oh, the wholesaler number 2, he offered me $20,000 more. And a lot of your first instinct is to be like, okay, well, let's go into a bidding war with this guy, right? That is not how you want to be doing it, okay? If you are going out here on a bidding war with with other wholesalers, the motivated seller, you're just bidding to make less money. And that's absolutely ridiculous. And so don't compete on price. That's never what you are going to be going out here and winning out on, right? Never compete on price. Never, ever, 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 ever compete on price. Okay, well, he wants to pay you 20,000. Oh, there's a reason you didn't go with him. You know we're more credible. You know we actually do the deals, and you know we can close right now. The reason you're not going with him is you probably don't trust him. He's probably hasn't bought any deals in the past month or 2 or 3. Probably never bought in a house before. And you know for a fact he's offering more because you're risking a lot with this guy. When you know I can go out here and help you close the deal right now. That's usually our line we say, and we get the deal done, and we destroy our competition wholesaling real estate. So guys, if you want to learn the strategies that I teach on how to beat my competition, of how exactly I destroy them, go to freewholesaling.com. This is our free real estate wholesaling course where we teach you how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free, step by step.